Let's have a look at the resort. And the driving range. Looks like mats only today. Practice putting green area. All right, here we are at hole one. All right, here we are at hole one, blue tee box. Let's see, here's a wide look at the fairway on one. It's a 340 yard or so, 350 to the middle of the green. Trees on the right side in residential, a few trees on the left. You're looking at a bunker straight ahead in the fairway on your line, about 232 yards. That's pretty much your line, just don't get it in that bunker. All right, here we are at the approach looking in. You're about 120 yards out. Straight ahead look at the green. Not too much trouble with trees, but you have big bunker on the left side and a big deep bunker on the right side. And it looks like it floats off to the right a little bit on the side of that green. A little caution on that side. All right, here's the green on one, about a 25-yard green front to back. It moves a little bit back to front on the slope angle. Somewhat flat up here at the top, and it does funnel back down to the fairway and these giant, massive bunkers here. All right, here we are, hole two, par three. All right, here we are, blue tee box. Hole two, par three, uphill, looks about 160. To the green, you got a bunker on the right side, and it looks like the only trouble. All right, here we are, hole two green, about a 26-yard front to back. Looks like it's sloping right to left a little back to front, and it levels off on the back end up there. Comes right back down to the fairway, runs right back down. All right, here we are, hole three, par four, short par four, across the board from the tips to the front. All right, here we are, hole three, par four, short par four, 320 from the blue tees. Wide open fairway, but it's tight. You got a little bit of out of bounds on the left fence line, residential on the right side. You got a hill right there on the right side that'll funnel it back if you just push it just a little bit right. But there's your line, you get lots of room in the middle. All right, here we are on three on the approach fairway shot. Looks like the green is protected by trees on the front side, and it is elevated. Seems to be up on an island. Looks like there's a drop off around the entire green. You got a good look into the green from the middle of the fairway. Just a little bit of a tree trouble on your left and right up top. All right, here we are in the green on three. Somewhat flat, but it does have a high point on the front side. This green actually runs front right corner down to the bottom left this direction. Very tight, very small green, and you do have a bunker here on the left side. Now here we are, hole four, par four. All right, here we are, blue tee box four, about 350 yards to the green. Wide open fairway, dog leg left. Bunker about 210 yards out straight ahead on your left side, and your line is going to be right around that green. All right, here we are on the approach on four in the fairway. You're about 124 yards out to the green. Water trouble short left side of that green. Bunker long behind that green. If you're gonna miss short right or even miss long right, you look good over there. All right, here we are on the green on four. It's got a spine right in the center of it, and it wants to run right to left. It's about a 15-yard front to back, from front to back behind that bunker to where I am in the front of the fairway, about 15 yards. It does slope off the green to the left. It slopes off the green to the right. There's a good look. All right, here we are, hole five, par four. Okay, blue tee box, hole five. Straight ahead, bumpy fairway. You got a bunker on the right side, about 250. This hole's about a 350-yard hole. Lots of hills and undulations. Your line is going to be straight over this hump. A few trees right and left, but nothing to be concerned with. All right, here's a look at our approach, about 100 in, middle of the fairway. You've got a bunker front left side and a little bit of runoff of the green backside, left side, and right side. You got a lot of space to work with here. All right, here we are at the green on hole 5, about a 12-yard front to back. Lots of space on this green left to right. It slopes from the top side down to the right side. And you got this big green side bunker here on the front left. All right, here we are, hole 6, par 5. All right, here we are at the blue tees, hole 6. It's a par 5, about 472. Straight ahead is the line here. It goes off to the left a little bit. That bunker straight ahead on this tee box is about 225 yards out. Stay to the left of that over the red tee box, and it should put you in a good line. Lots of trees on the left to deal with. All right, here's our approach on 6, about 188 yards out. You've got lots of water between you and the green from the middle of this fairway. Lots of places to miss left, not a lot of places to miss right. And there is your green straight ahead. All right, here we are on the green on 6, about a 27-yarder front to back. Pretty flat overall. It's got a top side on the back side that funnels down a little bit this direction to the water, but it actually angles a little bit right to left, even in front of that water on the right side. Big bunker here on the left, and a drop off a little bit on the back side. All right, here we are, hole 7, par 3. All right, here we are, hole 7, par 3, blue tees. You're about 175 yards out to that green. Lots of water up front, big bunker on the left. Lots of room to miss long right or miss left short. All right, here's the green on 7, this par 3. It's about a 30-yard front to back, and it slopes from the back here, cascades down a little hill right here on this first third side, and it funnels back down toward the water. There's that big bunker on your left side, and more water protecting this green here on the right side. You can miss long, lots of room on the back side of the green, but you're challenged by these big hills that run off. All right, here we are, hole 8, par 5, about 300 or 480-yard par 5, dog leg left. We're looking at about 240 yards to that bunker on the right side, and your line, I guess, is this cart path. Lots of tree trouble left and a few backyards right. All right, here we are at this fairway on 8 at the turn. Here's your approach going into the green. Lots of bunker trouble, a couple on the left side, one on the right side. You're gonna miss it short, and you got a lot of tree trouble left, as you see. Miss long right, you're okay. All right, here we are in the green on 8, about 25 yards front to back. Pretty flat overall. It does slope just slightly from this spine in the center here. It pushes off to the back and the front. Not too much movement, pretty clean green here. And again, lots of room to miss on the right side. And you can see the bunkers playing up here on the front side. All right, here we are, hole 9, par 4. All right, here we are, hole 9, par 4, about a 400-yard, slight dog leg left. Right through that mower is the line on the fairway, 250 yards to that bunker on the right side. You got trees on both sides and water right here up front. All right, here we are at the turn of this dog leg left. We're about 155 yards out to the green. You can see it up here, uphill beyond this big tree in your way. You got a big bunker on the front right side, trees on the right side, and a drop off on the back left side. All right, here we are on the green on 9, about a 30-yard front to back. Little spine on the top right side, runs through the middle of the green on the back side, and then it funnels down, pushes the ball back left, down back toward the fairway. Again, you got a big bunker here on the right side of the green, and you got a big drop off on the far back side and the left side. Lots of high points on the left side. Lots of room over there to miss though too, and a lot of room deep. All right, here's hole 10, par 4. All right, here we are, blue tees, hole 10, par 4, about 375, straight ahead around the curve on the right. Not necessarily a dog leg, but it does break off to the right. You cannot see the green from the tee box. And if you can take your line over that tree, you're in good shape. Otherwise, shorten up and go straight down the fairway. That is your line straight ahead. All right, 10th fairway, 150 yards out on hole 10. Here's your green. There's your approach. Big bunkers on the front left and front right. Pretty flat side green. Not too much trouble. You can miss right or left, and a little bit long. All right, here we are on the green on 10. Pretty flat overall. It does move slightly left to right, about a 20-yard back to front. Again, you got these big bunkers on the front side left, front side right. But lots of room to miss long left, even over the backside, and even long left and the right is pretty clear. Just a lot of hills, but the green is pretty smooth and it just goes a little bit left to right. Okay, hole 11, par 5. All right, here we are in the blue tee box, hole 11, par 5, about 525 out. There's your line. Not much fairway to work with, but you have about 260 to that bunker. Left of that bunker is your line, right through those trees. Lots of trees left and a creek up short, right between us and the fairway. All right, here we are, middle of the fairway, about 135 yards out. Look at the green. You've got bunker on the front left side. Looks like the greens roll off the right side, the back side, and the left side a little bit. All right, here we are on the back side of green on 11. Pretty flat green overall, about 26-yard front to back. I'm sorry, 16-yard front to back. And it is wider than it is long. But overall, this green has very slight movements, left or right, nothing too extreme, pretty flat overall. Hole 12, par 4. All right, here we are, blue tee box, hole 12, 360-yard par 4. Straight ahead, right around these trees on the right side, just a few single trees on the right and left. Your line is pretty much straight ahead down the fairway. Lots of room to miss though, right and left. All right, here's a good look into the green on hole 12, about 120 yards out. You got a bunker on the left side and a bunker green side on the right side. These are your shots here. Little creek in between the fairway and the green coming in. You're about 120 yards out from this point. All right, here we are on the green on 12, about a 28-yarder front to back. It runs back to front mostly, and it kicks out left just a little bit on your line. Again, you got a big green side bunker here on the right side and a couple of small green sides. Well, one small and one big here on the left. Lots of room to miss long. You got a good backstop back there. If you go too deep, it'll funnel back. And lots of room long left of the green. All right, here we are, hole 13, par 3. All right, here we are, hole 13, par 3, about 145 yards out. Here's your look at the green. You got a green side bunker on the front right side and lots of water on the left, including a left side bunker. Left is the enemy here. All right, here we are on this par 3 green, about 28 yards front to back. You can see the back side is the high point, and it funnels back down towards this direction on the front right part of the green. Not too many high points, just the backside just funnels down a little bit. Again, you've got this small bunker here on the left side and lots of water running up the right side, which makes it even more challenging to keep it in. Not a lot of room to miss on this green. All right, blue tee box, hole 14, 365 yards or so down this fairway. You can see the flag just beyond the golf cart there. Your line is going to be this fairway just to the right of this front tree that's in your way. All right, here we are on hole 14, the approach shot about 120 yards out. The only danger I see besides the trees on the left and long is the green side bunker on the front right side. Lots of room around the green to miss. The green is elevated, so you've got runoff on all four sides. But you got a clean approach once you are in the fairway from about 120 out. All right, here we are on the green on 14. We got a 22-yard front to back. It's pretty flat overall, and it does slope just a little bit from the right side down to the left side, but otherwise it is pretty flat, and it comes back a little bit to the fairway, but it is overall, like I said, really smooth, really flat. And here is your green side bunker on the front right side. All right, hole 15, par 3. All right, here we are in the blue tee box, hole 15, par 3, about 130 yards out. You've got front bunkers on the right and left side, and the tee box runs pretty long. We got a front flag today. You got water on the right side. Should be out of play. Lots of room to miss. Short front, long is good, and then even left is okay. All right, hole 15 green, about a 30-yarder back to front. Way up top, 2 levels to this green. You got a top shelf, runs down, and then levels off here in the lower half. Slight break to the water, not too much. Other than that, there's not much other movement besides the big hill in the center of the green. Hole 16, par 4. All right, here we are, blue tee box, hole 16, about a 400-yard par 4. There's your line, there's your flag. Water to the right side, about 225 to the edge of that water. You got a bunker on the left side, about 260. You got a little tight fairway to sit. There's your line straight ahead. All right, here's a look at the fairway here on 16, looking into the flag. Surrounded by water. That green is protected by lots of water. No bunkers to speak of, but you have a backstop on the backside. All around the backside of that green, you got a backstop to funnel it back down to the green. We're about 150 yards from this point in the middle of the fairway. All right, here we are on the 16th green. About a 13-yard front to back from your approach. Super wide green left to right. And of course, this thing wants to funnel back right towards the fairway and into this water that's protecting the green. Lots of water to miss. Here's a good look at your green. Pretty smooth overall. Not too many undulations on this green. It just goes to the back, to the front, right back toward the water. All right, hole 17, par 4. All right, here we are on the tee box, the blue tee box on hole 17, par 4. Your line is straight ahead over this cart path, 320 yards, 325 yards to the green. There's your line. It just breaks left, like a slight dog leg left. There's water about 275 yards, front left side in front of the green. All right, here's a look on 17. About 90 yards out to the green. Lots of water up front protecting that green, and a little slight hill coming off that left side. Otherwise, it's pretty wide open look. All right, here we are on 18, par 5, about 500 yards out. There's a little water to the right side. Edge of that water is about, front side is about 210 yards. Your line is going to be straight ahead through this fairway. Lots of room to miss on the left side. Some room to miss right. You got a little bit of tree to deal with, just singles here and there, but otherwise there's your line straight at it. All right, here we are on the fairway on 18, about 255 yards out. You can see the flag just on the left side of this fairway. Right around those bunkers, you can see the bunkers and you can see the green right through that way. That is your line. But if you lay up straight down this fairway, then you can come in to the left side. Okay, here we are on the final approach on 18, about 75 yards out. Good look at the green. You've got bunker on the left side, looking pretty strong. You got a bunker on the right side, up at an angle, and you got a wide open look at the green from here, and this is if you laid up. All right, here we are on the green on 18, about an 18-yard front to back. It goes from top, slants back down the hill toward the fairway. Big left side, green side bunker, backside bunker on this one. Deep, pretty deep, but not too deep of a lip coming out onto the green. Again, you got a top shelf backside, it all funneling back down the hill, back down toward the fairway. All right, thanks for watching today. Great golf course today here at the golf club at the resort in Fort Worth, Texas. Everything was nice about this course. The fairways were nice, the greens were in great condition. A little slow this morning, and they ran a little faster as the day warmed up. But overall, I think it's an A+ course. Lots of fun today. I didn't play very well, but it was all my fault, not the course's fault. Pretty challenging. You'll see that you saw in the video some tight windows on some fairways, a lot of open fairways, some short par 4s, long par 3s. It was all mixed in together. Lots of water features. It had a good mix. It was a great time out here, and I can't wait to play it again. You guys, if you got any help from this video, if you want to share it with someone who's about to play it, have them like and subscribe, see if any more courses I'm going to do, and let them follow and take a look before you go out and play it. I guess until then, we'll see you guys later. Thanks.